It has been about a week since our last stream, so welcome back to the ISCR Cup Series. You're on board of Ralph Heinz here in the Circuit of the Americas, the first ever road course in the ISCR. Is the Circuit of the Americas track. We'll be doing 17 laps today, so keep that in mind. This is probably the lowest chance for you to get laps led. However, for some drivers, this would be a big opportunity to get a win here, as we so far through our, I believe now 6 races, we have had 6 different race winners. Coming that right. Never mind, in 4 races we've had 4 different winners. So are we going to see a 5th different winner, or are we going to see our first repeat win? That is the big question here today. So let's go over our qualifying results. On pole position again. I believe this makes it back to back. No. When was the last time he had it? Apparently never. Alright, well his Coxlong of the 69 car will be in pole position today. Right behind him, because we'll be doing single file restarts here, is the 12 car of Fingar. 213.6, 69 had 213.58. As we go to third position, we have the 10 car of Jaquez Alfonso. In fourth position, we have the 2 car of Dylan Danger. In 5th place, you have the 89 car of Bud Piper. In 5th place, or in 6th place now, you have the 17 Quentin Valentine. In 7th place, you have the 18 of Zachary GMS. In 8th place, you have the 7 car of Jamar Peterson. In 9th place, you have the 0 of Campbell McCarthy. And 10th place, last we are watching here, Ralph Heinz of the 1 car. This is the first one to get a lap done as it's a 2:24 on a cold lap here. I believe everybody will only be able to get 1 or 2 laps in here with the 5-minute happy hour. Heinz surely wants to go ahead and try and get a better lap than a 2:24. Go back here. Here's Bud Piper, who's starting 5th position, right in the middle of the pack. He's coming around on his hot lap. 12 car Fingar in the USAA sponsor machine. He is going to be towards the front. He's going to have the first chance to take over the lead here for Chastity Race Team. So we should probably look into our point standings here. So we look at the standings. In first place, you have Bud Piper. He has 387 points. Behind him, you have the 7 car of Jamar Peterson, surprisingly, at 322. Behind that, you have the 69 car, who just took pole position today. He will have 316. In 4th place, you have the 0 of Campbell McCarthy, who will have 262 heading into this. For that, you have the 18 of Zachary James, who has 245. And you have the 2 car of Dylan Danger for 232. And that is for cutoff for the playoffs. He said it should be the top 6. There may be thoughts about going to the top 8 if there is some more Cup Series drivers that get added later on. Right now, it is cut down to the top 6. Just outside that bubble, you have the 17 car of Quentin Valentine with a 204. Then you have the 10 car of Jaquez Alfonso, who, now, here's the thing, we are going by average points per race. And the 10 car has half the amount of races, but already has 198 points. Then you have the 12 car, who, as we said, is starting second position, has the chance here to get a win, potentially, with 189 points. It means in 2 extra races, he is still below the 10 car, but is looking to change that today with a win. And then in last place in points, you have the 1 car of Ralph Hines, who had the chance for the win last week, but due to damage, had to take the pits, as he's only 5 points behind Kim at 184. Chassis Racing not very happy with their drivers, as we know next season there will be a complete driver draft in Season 2 for all the teams, which will be very exciting to watch. As some teams like Chassis Racing here, who both their drivers are struggling with points with Fingar and Ralph Heinz on the bottom of the standings, with a combined 3 laps led between these 2 cars. They also have the lowest average finish and qualifying out of all the drivers. Currently the highest average finishing is Jaquez Alfonso still. He averages a 1.5 finish in races. Or in qualifying, my bad. We will set up for race day. We will have a double file start to the race, but after this there will be no double file restarts. And as we tune in, we see our cars lined up here. Alright, as our drivers will come to the start finish line here. 69 car of Coxlong will be your race leader to start this race. Coxlong also is one of the first drivers that we have seen that has gotten their alternate scheme ready. I believe his alternate scheme is going to be for Talladega on this Friday in 2 days. And basically it's just a reversed color. Some of the other drivers we've seen is the 17 Clayton Valentine is going to have another Mars candy on his car, and the 18 and will have about the same thing as Coxlong with a reverse scheme. So we come to the restart zone in the circuit of the Americas at COTA. We come, and here we go. We are green as the 69 gets a great jump into the lead as we go into turn 1. As down the hill they go, the 69, a huge gap now. The 10 and the 12 still battling it out here for second. The 69 just is running with this race so far. This is lap 1 of 17. Let's look back here towards the back as we are almost a 3 wide for 4th here. Piper, James, and Danger, 3 of the red cars here. See, this is road course racing as they come into the dirt just a little bit there. As they should be single filed just about now. We look back a little bit more. Yep, single file. As the 69 car is the car to catch here as he's going to come around lap number 1 as it looks like he should be your leader to start this race. Huge gap from the 12 car. As Coxlong technically last race was your race leader, not your race winner. As he's looking to avenge that here and actually have a win under his belt. And that's some cars in the top 3 here that are looking for wins. 12 of Fingar's looking for his first win. Actually, I think this would be his first top 5 finish. The 10 car of Alfonso is also looking for a win here. Not going to be his first top 5 finish though, as he's been very, in his 2 races so far, both top 5s. Behind that is the 89 of Bud Piper, who's looking to be a repeat race winner here. His last race win, I believe, was right before Bristol when we were in Phoenix. No, that was Campbell McCarthy. The 89 won while we were in Atlanta. The 2 car, Dylan Danger, looking at his first win, as I believe that is 18 already down pit lane. I don't see any damage on that car as we come around. So let's go back. 17, Quentin Valentine looking for his first win after he's led so many laps, but no race win so far. The 1 car looking for his first race win, first one for the team as well, which would propel him way up the standings. Behind him, you have the 7 car of Jamar Peterson, who's looking for his first win since Daytona, trying to be the first repeat. Right behind him is another driver trying to be a repeat, and also is technically your last race winner for the Cup Series in Campbell McCarthy. And then as we saw, the 18 went down pit lane. That is Zachary James, as he's also looking for his first race win and first win for Demonic Motorsports, who has been very competitive, very much always top 5 almost, at least 1 car. However, neither one of them has gotten in a position to really win a race. You can see neither one of them has been top 3 since Atlanta, where they finished 2-3. As Coxlong still out in front here in the Bischoff Racing Chevy. If he does win, Bischoff Racing will be the second team to have 2 race winners. The first one being Buick Racing with Campbell McCarthy and Bud Piper. So far, Coxlong demanding the lead. Just need to see how well he can strategize here to hold on to this lead. As they come around the last turn, down the front stretch, and past the start-finish line for lap number 3. It's Coxlong in the turn number 1 here. Still a very manageable gap here with a 2-second lead. One thing Coxlong really should like here is that there should not be much lap traffic that he should run into here. Which does mean when you're out in front, you should be able to push that car. And you should be able to get away from the cars behind you relatively easily if you're the faster one. And as you can see, he's just easing it through those turns, trying to make sure there's no mistakes. One little mistake here could cost him the lead, and potentially the car. the trouble with the road course racing, but so far seems like he's got it under control and has it down to a science. It's the Heistinger 69 car, Bischoff Racing, still out in front. Bischoff Racing, one of the two Chevy cars. We run both Camaros and Monte Carlos here, as Bischoff Racing only runs the Camaros so far. Chevy must really be liking what they're seeing so far, as Jamar has had pretty good races. The 69 here of Coxlong is having a pretty good race. And even the AI drivers that they've supplied to in the 26 and the 47 have had really good races for the AI series. So far, through 3 laps, it has been all Coxlong here at Circuit of the Americas. So far, nobody else had to go down pit lane. The 18, the only Cup Series driver that has gone down pit lane. So far, seems pretty okay. Don't know why he had to go down pit lane. Might have been from some mechanical issues. But he is way behind everybody else in the Cup Series. Maybe he's hoping that it was a little bit of dumbfound luck that he got the pit early. Hopefully he can catch back up with our lead group here. So 69 is just managing that 2-second gap. Well, make sure to join us on Friday, where we will be in Talladega for the Geico 500. Geico 500 at Talladega. That should be a thriller of a race, as we get to see who can win at our second super speedway course of the season. Jamar Peterson will be looking to have back-to-back super speedway wins. Everybody else will be looking to spoil that. Still so far, Coxlong nicely out in front. Down the back stretch. Coming around the final few turns back to start finish line. So far, don't believe anybody else in the Cup Series roster has came down pit lane yet. They all have very manageable gaps in between one another. Not really anybody within a second of another. Besides the 2 and the 17. We'll be back in a bit. we are back. As the 12 car has been making up that gap right now. There's only a second lead for the 69. As the 12 of Fingar, part of Chassis Racing, looking to get the first win for this Volkswagen sponsored team. I think I just saw a little bit of front damage here to the 10 car of Alfonso. He might be going down pit lane soon just to get that repaired, but that will cost some time down that lane, which I don't think Alfonso has necessarily. We may see an overtake here on pit lane. They look for any damage behind, as I do not see anybody else damage. It's only Alfonso. Well, let's see if Fingar is still making up time here on our leader. Come down the little tiny straight here into the final few corners. You might see the 10 car coming down pit lane this time. As nope. Alfonso's going to stick it out. Let's see. Has 12 car made up ground? Does not look like it. Looks like he's actually losing it now. As he did, he lost over half a second on that lap. But now the 10 car of Alfonso's right on that bumper. Alfonso, part of Team Nissan, had the great debut in Phoenix, had a rough day in Bristol, looking to make all that up here. As this is his last race before he can qualify for the playoffs, as he's looking to make sure his name's inserted into that picture. Speaking about cars in the playoffs, let's go ahead and look at the points here, how the points would shake up with how we would finish here. So the 69 would still be in playoffs with a win, of course. 12 car Fingar would still be just shy of the playoff picture, probably would be right behind or right in front of the other Nissan of the 17. The 10 car of Alfonso, as we are seeing, would be in the playoff picture easily. But the 0 of Campbell McCarthy would be right on that border as well. So would the 2 and the 18. The 7 car also might be thrown in that, as it's only a few from the playoff window to Jamar and Bud Piper. It's only about 100 to 150 points, which could be make up in just a race, one good race. However, Alfonso here, his average is through the roof. Through 2 races, has almost 200 points. Alfonso could very well be your points leader after this race, as long as he keeps it up. Let's go back one more. Bud Piper of Buick Racing, the 89, has a race win, is number 1 in points, and is looking to keep that up here. As it should be said, the standings of the top 6 will determine how many playoff points they get extra. So right now, Bud Piper's looking at the most extra playoff points. Although it will not be a significant amount, like surely not in the hundreds, it still will be enough to where it can give you, if you're in the lead, it can give you just enough of a boost where you don't have to win a race in the playoffs. As long as you finish top 3 consistent in all 4 races, you could be our champion. See the 10 car right on the tail of the 12 again. So the Nissan versus the Volkswagen. These cars built very much alike here, as should most of them with stock car racing. But these two in particular have just about the same make and body. The only difference is who supplies the parts. Alfonso's trying to make up ground here on the 12. You can see the 10 definitely catches him on these straights. However, it's just that little bit of acceleration outside the turns where I don't think the 10 quite has him. Same can be said about the 12 trying to catch up to Coxlong in the lead here. They come down the front stretch again. Not yet, never mind. I can't tell what turn it is. So now we're coming into the final group of turns. Dakota, it's a beautiful track. A lot of stars and stripes here along the course side. We are in EchoPark. That's henceforth the name, EchoPark Grand Prix. As Coxlong still out in front in the lead. Does not seem to be losing much tempo anymore, as the 12 car cut the lead down to less than a second for a lap, and then almost instantly the 69 kicked it back in the high gear and took it back to a 2-second gap. So we will let you go on board with the 69 here, as we will take another break before the final few laps. We are back as this is our pit window. We will see who can win this race off pit road. The 69, hopefully looking to stay out in front. The 10 car has that foot damage, which may cost him a spot here. We will watch carefully here. We'll take this little camera angle here where we can watch our drivers come off pit road. This is going to be the 69 out in front, the 12, and then the 10. 89 gets off, the 17 gets off before the 2. So there's the one danger, absolutely horrible pit stop. Towards the 7, 18 coming in. It's just going to pop in the back. They got to go. Not a great day for the 18, as it seems. We watch Coxlong coming around the turns. Still very dominant driver right now. we look at the order, it's the 69, and then the 12, 10, 89, 17, 1, 2, 7, and then the 0 in our top 9, as showed the 18 car did in fact get into 10th, but he is still on pit lane. Must be some problems here for the 18, as he's just completely stuck on pit lane. So we're at lap 10 of 17. Coxlong, of course, your leader still. It does not look like a single car is going to catch him here. Coxlong showing absolute dominance on the road course here today. Of course, this past Monday was Veterans Day. We would like to thank all the veterans out in the United States. Kind of coincidence, we're at the Circuit of the Americas on America's Veterans Day. Did not plan that whatsoever. However, it did happen, and it's kind of nice, I could say. As the 18, we still on pit road. It looks like James may not be able to finish this race. Though no matter what, he would get 10th place points as long as he can finish out the race. But that's a huge if, seeing as he's still stuck on pit lane. Wonder what damage is there. As we see Coxlong still out in front by almost 2.5 seconds. As of previous weeks, 69 has become somewhat of a villain. As we saw at Bristol, he technically was your race winner, but got passed in the last few laps. Was not able to technically win the race, but he was your Cup Series leader, so he still got first place points minus the win. And the race before that in Phoenix, the 10 car was leading for the first, I believe, 20 or so laps. And on lap number 40, it was, the 69 spins out the 10 car to take over the lead. However, that did not last that long, as only 17 laps later, Coxlong would get passed up by the 0 of McCarthy, and he would finish only 4th in that race, but the 10 car would finish in 7th. Since then, it's seemed kind of like a rivalry between Bischoff Racing and Team Nissan. As we said in Bristol, the 69 did wreck, and guess who it was that spun him? The 17 of Quentin Valentine got the revenge for his teammate, it seemed like. So right now the 10 car, sponsored by Google, still has a little bit of hood damage, as you can see right there. However, it does not seem like he wants that to affect him right now, as he's going to try and finish out this race in 3rd to hold off the 89 that's behind him. Maybe take over 2nd place here. So you look at cars that have moved so far. The 18 car has moved from 7th place all the way down to 10th. The 0 car stayed just where he is. The 1 car has gone up 4 positions to 6. 17 has gone up a position. The 89 has gone up a position. And the 2 car has gone back 3. So our biggest sliders are both the Demonic Motorsports cars, both going down 3 spots. And our biggest riser so far is the 1 car of Heinz, who has gone up 3 positions. Make that 4 now. If you look back, Heinz has had a very weird season. He came into the season as a favorite until the zero of Cameron McCarthy came around, but has been last place in points since the start of the season, has been struggling to prove why he was that first car. Now, Bristol had a chance to, but due to mechanical issues, he had to go down pit lane in the final few laps and cost him the win. If you look back at the 17 car, who we said moved up a position from the start of the race, Valentine has been very much in that middle of the pack. Has been very confusing to see where he would end up in races, as he would lead some laps in races, but would never really be dominant enough to get wins, as him and his teammate are both in the top 5 right now. The only 2 teammates in the top 5. Right in between them, you have the 89 Bud Piper Buick, as he is in first place in points. Probably just looking to hold off here, keep his first place in points. And after this race, he will be the first driver to break 400. As he's also gone up a position. However, the top 3 drivers have all stayed in positions, which means they will not get any points for moving up or down. However, the 69 car will get points for laps led, as he's led all 13 laps so far. However, it does look like the 12 car has been gaining some ground. Let's look. The 18 car does appear to be back on track here. And that is very thankful for James, as he's right on that playoff bubble. Probably is just looking to get some points here and then move on to Talladega. As remember, the first race in Daytona, he was your pole position. And he was very much able to hold that position throughout the race. Or no, he was second place, my bad, in Daytona. And he had 3 laps led. However, he was always, it seemed like, towards that front part of the pack. Always was in second or third, just could not take that lead. And the next race in Atlanta led 20 laps and finished in third. As it does look like James will be just moving on to the next race, trying to get his first win and his team's first win. We see the 69 still out in front by a good margin. Even if the 12 is gaining, it's not by much, it seems like. See, everybody's pretty spaced out here. We look at our drivers coming by. We've got pretty good gaps. The 7 and the 0, huge gap between them. So it does look like the 12 does make up a little bit of ground, but that might just be from the way we were looking at it. So no, the 69 just keeps taking off as soon as the 12 gets even within a second and a half. Oh no, the 12's still gaining ground into the turns. It looks like the 12's being a little bit more aggressive, trying to get into these turns with a little bit more speed. But also coming out the turns, the 69 just steps on it, accelerates right out of it. If there was a time to be aggressive, it would be right now for Fingar. And he should push it into the turns and try and get a little bump and run action with the 69. A little light tap to the bumper, not enough to spin them, but just enough to move them slightly out of your way. Should be enough to get a pass here for the lead, if you can catch up. So 69 is being fairly cautious in the corners, trying not to make much of a mistake, but it also seems like that's what's allowing Fingar to catch up. As Gar is definitely going faster into the turns and through the straightaways. As this could be here, this could be a race all the way to the very end for the 12. Come down the front straight, he definitely has gained ground on the 69 in previous laps. But he's only gained 0.2 of a second. That will be not enough if he keeps his pace. He needs to push it further. Look back, it looked like the 89 had a little bit of momentum coming up to the 10, but does not look like he's got much of a charge there. So 69 just straight got the gap right back on the 12, as it looks like Coxlong will be your race winner as long as he can hold off for the final few laps. Look to where the lap cars are. Closest car to them is on back stretch that they are coming to right now, but I don't think they will catch up to him. See, the 69 car creates this great gap with the 12, but then gets conservative and lets him catch right back up. But I don't think it'll be enough for the 12 car to make a pass on him. It still looks like it's well over a second of a gap. So far, the only stories we have for today is Demonic Motorsports having some lows. The 2 car having trouble on pit road getting off, costing him 3 spots. And 18 having troubles with the car, costing him a lot of spots. But will only cost him 3 spots in terms of points. As you can see, this will be one of our last 2 laps here. Unless there's some sort of accident with the 69, it does not look like there's anybody that is going to come close to touching him. Look back, the 2 car is trying to hold off the 7 here. This is likely going to be your playoff bubble here. See the 2 car, Demonic Motorsports, Dodge built. 7 of Team Bischoff Racing is Chevrolet built. So they will be duking it out here in the final 2 laps. This could decide who's in and out of that 6th slot, with the 18 being so far back. We may see the 18 outside of the playoff window. Which would mean you would probably see these 2 teammates battling it out for that final spot come the final stretch of races. Trying to look at points. 12 car is definitely going to be close, but I don't think he will be in the playoff picture because he is about 50 points behind. which would also mean that his teammate in Heinz is for sure not in the picture. As we come down to the final few turns, the 12 car cut it within a second, but I do not think it will be enough here to catch 69. So they take the turn, they come into the final section of the racetrack. If there was a chance for Fingar to make a pass, it would be right now, but I don't think he's going to have the tempo to make it. As he will not. There's absolute dominance today from Coxlong. Never even allowed there to be a question on if he would win this race. As they come into the final turn down the front stretch. Taking off goes the 69 as he will be your race winner. Right behind him is Fingar. Then you have Alfonso in the 10 car getting another top 3 finish. We have the 89 by Piper, your points leader, the 17 of Quentin Valentine. The 1 of Ralph Heinz finally gets a good finish here. Probably is looking for better though, as he only finishes 6th, still not a top 5 for him. Then you have the 7 of Jamar Peterson, and then the 0 of Campbell McCarthy, 9th out of our 10 Cup drivers, not where he was looking to be. Especially as he was also very close that playoff window. And then the 18 who was just as close coming in the back. We will see you on Friday in Talladega, Alabama, where we will see these drivers duke it out on a super speedway track once again. Thank you and good night.